It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Giants training camp, practice number 1 in the books. This is your Blue Rush post-practice report. I'm Brandon London, our New York Post NFL reporter, Ryan Dunleavy here. You've got an article coming out today about the quarterbacks, so let's stick to the quarterback situation here. Russell Wilson announced QB1, came in, throws touchdown on his very first play in 7-on-7s. Jackson Dart comes in, amazes a little bit, does throw the pick 6. The floor is yours, sir. Go ahead, tee us up. Let's talk about it. How these quarterbacks look in your opinion?
Yeah, I thought you saw a little bit of what we saw Jackson Dart was in the spring, which is a little bit of boom or bust. He'll make he's going to throw the ball into tight spots. He believes in his arm. Sometimes that's going to be a touchdown and a great play, and sometimes that's going to be a pick 6 like it was once today. So that's a young quarterback figuring out what he can get away with and what he can't get away with. And I think he's a guy, he took some second-team reps today. I think he's a guy, I think my takeaway was there is a quarterback competition at Giants training camp. It's not QB1. I never thought it would be QB1. That's Russell Wilson. I think it's QB2. I think there's a chance here. They know what Jameis Winston is. There's a chance if Jackson Dart outperforms Jameis Winston, I think there's a chance he could be QB2. And if not, then they're fine with him at QB3.
Yeah, I think the Giants are in a great position when it comes to that. Again, they tried to quiet as much noise as they could by announcing Russell Wilson as quarterback 1. Obviously, the media still had questions when talking to Joe Shane and Brian Dable this morning before practice. But when Brian Dable was asked about the quarterback 2 competition, he did not shut it down. He left that door open, and he was even like, the roster is going to be set how the roster sets. Basically, it's like Hunger Games. Go out there and compete for this quarterback 2 job. Jackson Dart got the majority of the QB2 reps today, and like you said, like I like the kid. I like this moxie that he shows. I like this confidence. Dexter Lawrence talks about that confidence. You're seeing it out on the field. You're seeing him trying to make those throws. I wonder how much are they like, okay, go and see what you can get away with before they start telling him, all right, I want you to throw that away. All right, I want you to put that one in the dirt, and don't try and evaluate like that receiver trying to make a play on that football. Russell Wilson, Malik Nabers didn't get a chance to kind of get on the field together during OTAs and during the spring. They got some workout in San Diego, different high school football fields, or Russ's football field in his backyard. They got a chance to get in the, not pads today, but in some competitive periods. Kind of started slow a little bit, and then they kind of clicked towards the end. I guess 2-3 touchdowns on the day. What are you seeing from that duo? Could this be the duo that MetLife Stadium has been pleading for quite some time?
It's funny. I asked Nabers about growing with a quarterback. It's not going to be growing with Russell Wilson. Like the idea of like a Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, that's Jackson Dart and Malik Nabers. That's not going to be Russell Wilson. But he's going to have to wait. Dart's going to have to wait. Fans are going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait because it's going to be Russell Wilson week 1. And they did look like they had some chemistry. They did not look, Russell Wilson, Malik Nabers did not look like this was their first time practicing together today, which, like you said, other than San Diego, it really was their first time. He looked like he had some chemistry. And look, part of this is Russell Wilson knows what he's doing, so he's not adjusting on the fly. He knows where his receivers are going to be on certain plays. Russell Wilson, what's impressive about him is he watched all Malik Nabers snaps last year. He can tell you right now what the down and distance was, what route Nabers ran, how far a touchdown was. He cites a catch-and-run touchdown Nabers made against the Colts late last season all the time is something that impressed him. One of the reasons Wilson signed here is to play with Nabers. So you can better be sure that they're going to have a chemistry, and he's going to look for Nabers on the practice field in week 1, in week 16. In his sleep, he's looking for Malik Nabers.
And I don't think we see the Malik Nabers get 18 targets in one game because, Russell Wilson did talk about being excited about playing with guys like Darius Slayton, rocking number 18 now, Wan'dale Robinson, and he spoke really highly about unlocking Jalen Hyatt's targets. So I think this is a situation where, he understands 3rd and long, 4th and whatever, we go to a player, not a play. He's going to Malik Nabers, but you can tell just by the way he was kind of talking and just by the way he was kind of trying to spread the ball around today that he is going to get other guys involved. But 3-1 is not a shift, ladies and gentlemen. 3-1, you better get ready for that. And I think Malik Nabers was waiting for something like a guy like a Russell Wilson last year. One, for the confidence standpoint, but two, we didn't see Malik Nabers go deep much. We didn't see him connect on the deep ball. I think he averaged around like 11 yards per catch as a wide receiver. Worse than that was Wan'Dale Robinson with 9 yards per catch. So if you're a Giants receiver, and, speaking with Jalen Hyatt off to the side, he was excited about going down to San Diego, how big Russ's house was down there. But those guys are excited because it's like, all right, I know I'm going to catch that little 5-yard out, little, slant here, slant there. But when we call up a double move or we call something to push the ball down the field, at least I know that moon ball is going to give me a chance. And that's what we've been waiting for. A lot of people are like, oh, well, who are the Giants receivers? We haven't had a chance to know yet. Hopefully this year, Russ can be that guy to where they can, I guess, like Jay-Z said, allow me to reintroduce myself.
Yeah, that's there's a lot. There are flaws in Russell Wilson's game at this point in his career. Like, he doesn't love throwing the ball over the middle. He doesn't put it in harm's way. Well, that the not harm's way thing, that appeals to a lot of coaches. They don't like turnovers. They'd rather, punt than have it pick six. And he does throw a good ball, especially outside the numbers down the sideline. That's going to be Slayton's strength. That can be Nabers' strength. Really, when I think of Nabers, I think of, you remember the play Odell Beckham made against the Ravens here where he caught a ball?
Slant.
Yeah. Slant.
To the house.
That's what Malik Nabers can do. And I think Russell Wilson, the ball placement will be there. So, there will be catch and run up. Nabers can go down the field. But I also think there's a catch and run element of Nabers' game that we did not see last year that Nabers can do. Yeah, I mean, he'll pull the trigger down the field. We all know what happened to Daniel Jones. He got gun shy, for lack of a better term. Too many sacks, too many interceptions early in his career, too many fumbles. He good with his legs, so he ended up scrambling a bit when plays broke down. I think Russell Wilson's gonna chuck the ball downfield when plays break down.
To refer back to that Odell play, Malik Nabers, Odell, both LSU guys, both great with the catch and run. I don't think Malik Nabers takes his helmet off and gets a flag for excessive celebration, though, after that. Remember, we were biting our nails because Justin Tucker had to, I guess, miss a field goal or something towards the end. But those LSU guys, they are dogs. Malik Nabers, I think, is primed for a big season. He kind of spoke to the media after practice, and he talked about, where his confidence level is and his approach going in. And number two, he thinks he can be one of the best or the best receiver in the league, but he spoke from the standpoint of he still has to prove it. He wants to be healthy. Talked about missing 2 games last year in the 17-game season. Talked about wanting to stay on the field. So a lot of big things to be expected out of this duo. You spoke about how Russell Wilson doesn't like throwing the ball across the middle. Theo Johnson, I feel as though second-year tight end could be prime for a breakout season. Do you think Russ can unlock Theo?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. Like I said, he's just at this point in his career, he's not a big over the middle guy. The numbers play that out. But yeah, I think Theo Johnson's a player who was coming on even with Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito at the end of last season before he broke before he hurt his foot on Thanksgiving in Dallas. He was playing his best ball of his rookie season. So he came back. He's obviously a huge target in the end zone. I think he's a guy the Giants are handing him the starting tight end job. I think he is a guy who they see as a guy who could surpass not only his rookie year numbers, but any of his college year numbers at Penn State.
I think Pat Freiermuth with the Steelers last year only had like 33 catches on the year. I'm putting Theo's over-under at 39.5. I feel like this kid has to have 40 catches on the year for this Giants offense to really click. The ball is going to be thrown down the field, but Ryan, as you know, those are low percentage passes. So you're going to need to be able to move the chains with the wan'dales, with maybe Jalen Hyatt, maybe worked on his routes and being able to run the tree, but you're going to have to be able to hit that tight end across the middle. And I think Theo Johnson could be that guy for Russell Wilson. You got the article coming out. Go ahead, finish us off for today's Blue Rush.
Yeah, I was just thinking what you were saying is nobody would be happier than Wan'Dale Robinson to see Theo Johnson have a big year, because Wan'Dale taking all those hits over the middle. I think he had 130 targets and they were all like 8 yards or less, right? So that would be a big help. Look, it was just where training camp is going here, it's obviously the focus is going to be on the quarterbacks every single day, how they're progressing. We didn't even get to the defense, right? And that's where they spent,
all the money,
$150 million. But the focus early on is going to be on training camp, the connection in the passing game. Like you said, the Giants last year, they struggled not just to score, they struggled to get first downs. And what I think is very apparent just looking at the roster on paper or even the first day is there'll be a much more functional offense. And that's, kind of a starting point, but that's where they need to start.
Well, they definitely, I know, practice number one, but they gave the fans a lot of hope. There's a lot of excitement when some of those touchdowns were being scored. A lot of excitement when Jackson Dart took the field for the first time. We're going to get back to the defense. I know I don't want Paulson and Debo and those guys in my DMs talking about we're not showing these guys any love, but obviously we had to talk about the quarterback situation at length today because that's what everyone's talking about. Paulson and Debo did have a pass breakup, and Nick Jones did have the pick six against Jackson Dart, so we want to make sure we throw those guys' names out there, and we'll highlight the rest of you guys on Tuesday when I'm back. I'm headed to Germany to do some camps for the Giants. You, Paul, you guys keep holding it down here at training camp. Keep watching their content. Keep reading their articles. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to Giants training camp. Thank you guys for watching Blue Rush.